and welcome to the Kopala TV main news. We get straight into the headlines for today. Government announces new measures to fight the coronavirus. Kitwe residents complain over load shedding. Action Aid condemns Lusambo. And I-Ward in Kitwe aided. Join us in a bit after this. To present the Kopala TV main news in detail, my name is Wawila Musongole. Government has announced that church services should not be more than an hour in view of the 2 cases of the coronavirus that the country has recorded. And Zambia has not recorded any new case of the deadly COVID-19 pandemic that has so far claimed thousands of lives world over. Speaking when Health Minister Chitalu Chilufya gave an update on the disease situation in the country, Religious Affairs Minister Godfrida Sumaili said churches should reduce their hours of worship as a preventative measure. Reverend Sumaili also said church leaders should keep numbers of their congregants as low as possible and further said that high levels of hygiene should be practiced.
The church has a significant role to play in our response to COVID-19, and I want to encourage the church to continue to follow strictly the clear health hygiene instructions that the Ministry of Health has already given to us, mainly the washing of hands. At our churches, let us ensure that we put up facilities for the people to wash hands with soap and also sanitizer as they enter our church services, but also as they leave, they need to wash hands. And we have to do that regularly, even in our homes. We need to keep our church surroundings clean, ensure that we clean up our churches, both inside, out, and ensure that sanitary services are working, that we have clean toilets, and also that the facilities that I've mentioned are in place. Coming to the church services, as the Honorable Minister of Health has mentioned, we have to keep our numbers as low as possible. Let us look into that the numbers that attend church service, let us manage to keep them as low as possible. But also the duration of the church service should not be more than an hour. If you can do it in less than an hour, 30 minutes, come together, fellowship, and leave quickly, that will be commendable. The issue that we are dealing with is very, very critical. So let us make adjustments for the services, that we don't stay together more than an hour. And when the church service is finished, we have to disperse very, very quickly. Let me encourage the churches to also look at cell or house group fellowship. That may help us, that instead of gathering in big numbers, we can use those who have the cell system in place. They can gather in house groups or cell groups. And also, during this time, there should be no conferences, no church conferences. No church conferences should be held. And I would like to encourage the church leaders to disseminate this information to the congregants. I expect that in every church service, before you even go into prayers talk about COVID-19.
Meanwhile, Health Minister Chitalu Chilufya says the country has, of the last 24 hours, not recorded any new coronavirus cases.
Today, we would like to report that there are no new cases that have been confirmed. And further, the 2 cases that tested positive are stable and recuperating well. The other 2 members of the family are asymptomatic. They are exhibiting no signs of disease, and they are recuperating. They are also being kept under isolation.
In the same vein, Kitwe district on the Copper Belt is on high alert following the reported outbreak of the coronavirus in the country. Details are in the following report. The coronavirus has continued claiming lives in most countries across the world. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, over 2,000 lives have been claimed globally since the outbreak of the deadly disease last year. Zambia has not been spared. On Wednesday, government announced that the country had recorded 2 cases of the coronavirus. News on the outbreak of the disease has caused public alarm. On its part, the government has put in place various intervention measures to ensure that the disease does not spread further. Health authorities in Kitwe are on high alert and ready to handle any outbreak of COVID-19. Abidan Chansa is the senior medical superintendent at the Kitwe Teaching Hospital.
You scrub in between the fingers, you scrub everywhere, and just below the elbow, you make sure that you scrub your hands thoroughly. Avoid handshakes, because when you shake the hand of another person, you are going to contract the disease. You need to maintain cough etiquette. So cough etiquette, you have to, if you are coughing, you cough in your elbow so that your hand is very far from where you are coughing, and the germs or the droplets do not go the long distance so that you infect other people that could be in close proximity. A number of times during the course of the day. Those are habits that are inbuilt, but we need to learn to avoid touching the hand and the nose. The reason is very clear. If I'm touching surfaces, I don't know who else touched the surface. If I rub my eyes, the eyes are one of the weakest entry points for a lot of organisms. The nose is also weak in terms of entry. So when you rub your nose and you have, you've touched a surface where this virus could have been, then chances are that you get this virus and you may start shedding it and transmit it to other people.
Dr. Chansa has urged members of the public to heed preventive guidelines issued on coronavirus.
What we need to do, all of us, is heed the public health messages that are being given everywhere and prevent this disease. So let us practice safe hygiene, very high levels of hygiene, personal hygiene, hand hygiene. We will insist and avoid overcrowded places.
Health Minister Chitalu Chilufya says the country has of today not recorded any new cases of the coronavirus. Wabula Musongole, Kopala TV News in Kitwe. The coronavirus global death toll has passed the 20,000 mark, and the World Health Organization, WHO, has demanded for more tests on the first trial for a possible vaccine being developed to combat the coronavirus. Many European countries have imposed extreme measures to control the viral outbreak. Al Jazeera has the rest of the details.
As the number of recorded coronavirus cases soared past 200,000, the World Health Organization announced the first trial of a vaccine was underway, the start of a long battle.
This virus is presenting us with an unprecedented threat, but it's also an unprecedented opportunity to come together as one against a common enemy, an enemy against humanity.
In the German city of Frankfurt, they've been queuing to get a free test for COVID-19 and they're losing patience.
It's so badly organized. There's a man behind me who waited for 6 hours yesterday when he actually belongs in bed.
In a televised address to the nation, Chancellor Merkel appealed to the public not to underestimate the crisis.
Es ist ernst.
This is serious. Take it seriously. We have not seen a challenge like this in our country since reunification, no, since the Second World War, which depends so much on us acting together and in solidarity with each other.
solidarisches.
In some parts of Europe, the health services just can't cope. Because of a surge in cases in eastern France, 6 coronavirus patients had to be flown by military plane from Mulhouse to the south of the country for treatment. Across France, there's a big incentive not to be out in public. If you don't have a certificate allowing you to leave home, the police can fine you up to $150. In Spain, they've already arrested dozens of people for going out since the lockdown started at the weekend. But it's not stopped these housebound Madrid residents from protesting. They're demanding former King Juan Carlos donates millions of dollars he reportedly received from Saudi Arabia to the Spanish health system. In London, it is quieter than usual, but nobody's being told to go home. For some in the British capital, the incremental approach is right.
I think the steps that have been put in place are very wise. It's once again trying to avoid the panic. If the government went into full lockdown and banned things, it's going to be it'd be a lot worse for people's well-being.
But in Parliament, Prime Minister Boris Johnson faced demands to take a more proactive stance.
Why are we waiting so long for mass testing? And why are social distancing measures merely just suggestions?
On Wednesday, Johnson did make one long-expected announcement.
After schools shut their gates from Friday afternoon, they will remain closed for most pupils, for the vast majority of pupils, until further notice.
So, different stages in the outbreak and different responses, but the challenge for the medical world and for societies in general is immeasurable. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera.
Australia could be the next country to be placed on lockdown as their total COVID-19 cases have risen to 250, with 13 new cases recorded in Queensland. The health ministry in that country has issued a ban on public gatherings to commence on Monday next week as schools across Australia prepare for possible shutdown. Sky News Australia has more.
At least 250 cases have been recorded in Australia. About half of those are in New South Wales, where 112 people have fallen ill. 8 new cases have been identified in Victoria overnight, taking the state's tally to 58. Queensland has also recorded a significant rise in infections, 13 new cases there. A woman in her 60s has become the 6th person to be diagnosed in Tasmania. And Australian cities could be placed into lockdown as authorities continue attempts to stop the spread of the virus. A ban on large public gatherings will kick in tomorrow as schools across the country prepare for the possibility they too could shut down. Chief Anchor Kieran Gilbert has more.
As nations around the world put tougher and tougher restrictions in place on their own populations and upon those crossing their borders, some schools in Australia are taking matters into their own hands and planning to teach their students remotely. The Treasurer says more formal restrictions are possible too.
We take the advice of the medical experts, but all recent developments, both here and overseas, as well as all possible options, no doubt will be assessed.
The Health Minister says a directive on closing schools is an option that might be considered down the track.
There is the potential. The schools question will be very much guided by the medical advice. One of the things that they have talked about is not moving too early on something like that.
This will cause, if it happens, significant dislocation for families around the country. But I think families with adequate notice will be able to put the steps in place.
As Home Affairs Minister Peter Dutton continues his recovery from coronavirus in Brisbane, Treasurer Frydenberg, who also travelled recently, has been feeling unwell and has been tested too.
As a precautionary measure, I got tested. Fortunately, it was negative.
So you got the test Thursday, but you announced the stimulus on Thursday, so you're pushing ahead. Did you think about self-isolating given you were feeling crook?
Well, I'd been in Riyadh just over 2 weeks before, and so it was very much a precautionary measure that I took. The medical advice to me was not to go and self-isolate.
Bans on mass gatherings of over 500 people come into force tomorrow as the government rolls out its new $30 million national awareness campaign, with some tough weeks ahead, including the possibility of entire lockdowns of cities or states.
One of the things we know about outbreaks of infections is that they can affect one part of a country, not another.
So you could lock down part of Sydney, but not the whole country?
Potentially you could. I mean, look, the Koreans did that for 2 provinces very successfully, locked them down. So everything is up for consideration.
The National Cabinet of federal and state leaders will meet today to discuss the health crisis once again, as the government's calling for a wartime spirit among Australians.
Back home, Inspector General of Police Kakoma Kanganja has constituted a committee to provide support for a coordinated response to the coronavirus pandemic. Mr. Kanganja says all provincial police commissioners are expected to ensure that all police stations under their jurisdiction put in place precautionary measures, which include restricting numbers of people visiting those in police detention. The police IG has further directed all officers in charge of stations to ensure to it that detention facilities are not overcrowded with suspects where possible. He adds that all those charged with misdemeanors and contravention offences should be released on police bond without undue delay. The police IG said this in a press statement availed to Kopala TV News. In case you have just tuned in, you are watching the Kopala TV main news. Now for our commercial break, join us after that. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Ndola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back. The Association of Vendors and Marketeers, AVEMA, on the Copperbelt has started sensitizing traders on the dangers of the deadly coronavirus. AVEMA Kitwe District Chairperson Aston Sakala has confirmed the development to Kopala TV News.
As Association of Vendors and Marketeers of Zambia in Kitwe District, we wish to urge all our marketeers in Kitwe District to cooperate with the Ministry of Health and the Kitwe City Council guidelines and preventive measures that have been put in place to curb the virus of coronavirus. We also want to urge all our marketeers to keep their working places clean. As an association, we have started sensitizing our marketeers in Kitwe district to put a bucket of water and a soap to their trading area. For example, at Sokoni Market, we have started, and now we are moving to Nakadori, Chambore, and many other markets in Kitwe district. We want to also to urge our marketeers to make sure that they should not shake hands as they are trading, because this is one of the measures that have been put in place to transmit the coronavirus. May God be with us as we are going through this critical moment as marketeers.
ActionAid Zambia Country Director Nalucha Ziva is dismayed by the recent conduct of Lusaka Province Minister Bowman Lusambo for infringing the rights of the people to purchase more than 2 bags of mealie meal. In an interview, Ms. Ziva said it would be prudent for the minister to render an apology to the offenders. The country director has, however, challenged the government to put up stringent measures on how to address escalating mealie meal prices.
Lusaka Minister, I would state that it's quite unfortunate, and it would be prudent that the minister renders an apology to those people because he highly infringed on their rights as human beings. As you know, Zambia is a liberal economy, and the role of the minister is to policy and not to policy people. It's to implement policy and not policing people. So we need to be very clear with our leaders to say if he has issues with the number or quantities of mealie meal that people are buying, the best thing he can do is try and put in place adequate policy measures that will address that, and as opposed to harassing and intimidating innocent citizens. That one should not be tolerated in a democratic nation and dispensation such as ours. It's just totally unacceptable.
You are still watching the Kopala TV main news. Join us in a bit after the break. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to. With appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters, if you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Dola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back once again. A non-governmental organization, Orbit Zambia International, has donated a Toyota Coaster 30-seater bus costing $79,000 to Kitwe Teaching Eye Hospital on the Copper Belt. Details are in the following report.
The Kitwe Teaching Eye Hospital is an optical center that offers pediatric services to thousands of patients across the northern region. The hospital, which offers both medical and surgical eye services, has also embarked on community outreach programs that offer basic eye health to eye patients in remote areas on the Copper Belt. A non-governmental organization, NGO, Optis International Zambia, has donated a Toyota Coaster bus worth $79,000 to Kitwe Teaching Eye Hospital.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of government of the Republic of Zambia and its people, I'm happy to receive this gift from the Mori and David Payot Foundation, a Toyota Coaster 30 bus costing 79,000 kwacha. If we use the current exchange rate, the moderate, average, optimum, it gives us 1,264,000 kwacha. To me, this is not a mean amount. This bus will go a long way in conducting community outreaches aimed at enhancing the mobile eye clinics that have been ongoing.
And Kitwe Teaching Eye Hospital Senior Medical Superintendent Chileshe Mboni has commended Optis International for this gesture.
Optis International Zambia has actually facilitated the donation of the bus by the Molly and David Payot Foundation. It is a foundation based in the States.
Other government officials present at the handover ceremony was Provincial Health Director Dr. Robert Zulu, Kitwe DC Chileshe Weupe, and other officials from the Eye Hospital. Reporting for Kopala TV, I'm Blessings Malama in Kitwe.
Kitwe residents have expressed concern over the continued load shedding that the town has been experiencing. The residents say despite the increase in water levels in the Kariba Dam, they are still subjected to the rationing of power. Diana Kopala has the rest of the details.
Zambia, like other Southern African countries, is facing a serious power deficit. The power deficit has negatively affected commerce and industry. The cost of doing business has sharply increased. In most cases, businesses are now using other alternative sources of energy, such as gensets. ZESCO Limited has attributed the power deficit on the low water levels in Lake Kariba. However, the country is currently experiencing good rains in almost all the 10 regions. And ordinarily, citizens are highly expectant as they want load shedding of power to come to an immediate end. But the situation is not changing as load shedding has continued. Kitwe residents in the Copper Belt province want to know why ZESCO has continued rationing power even in the wake of good rains.
So surprising the way rain is, the type of rainfall that we're receiving this year. But power is going like crazy. I mean, I have to go for work, take care of the children, lunch pack for my daughter who's at school. I wake up as early as 04, you can imagine, just to do some baking and cook relish, because by the time I'll be back from work, I find there is no power. Yesterday we didn't have power, I don't know, like from 12 until 21, almost 22. And today we've been told that power will only be back around 16 to 17, and it went around 05. You can imagine, it's affecting us in
Those in business are perhaps the most affected.
We want to find out what ZESCO is really thinking about this issue, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't know if I'm very ignorant or what. I think as at now, the rains and the water levels at their dam, I think they have come up to the point whereby the water has gone in that river, in that dam. There is enough water whereby we can be sustained with the electricity part, because I think it's so annoying. They increased the tariffs in the name that we are going to have power. They have increased the tariffs, but power has kept on going. So will we please have a statement from ZESCO, from that man, Mr. Henry Kapata? If he can address us, he tells us about what's really happening, about the electricity thing.
Kopala TV has tried to reach ZESCO's spokesperson, Henry Kapata, but his phone went unanswered. ZESCO management has on countless times cited low levels of water as the reason for power blues. Dana Kafwala, Kopala TV News, Kitwe.
That item wraps up the Kopala TV main news for today, but before we go, we'll take a look at the stories that made headlines. Government announces new measures to fight the coronavirus. Quito residents complain over load shedding. Action Aid condemns Lusambo. And I-Ward in Kitwe aided. Thank you for watching the Kopala TV main news. My name is Wabwila Musongole. God bless.